Bulls fans, welcome into the Around the Horns podcast. It's your boy, Tristan, your main man, Mario, and it is Tuesday night, Mario. And I just want to acknowledge that in the span of 2 weeks, you and I got snowed out of a podcast 2 Tuesdays ago. Tonight I'm in shorts.
Worse.
Short sleeve shirt and hanging out with you at the best doggone place to be, the Fuel and Iron Food Hall. How you feeling, homie?
Again, last week I talked about it. The sun is still up. It's wild. Spring is in bloom, and we're on the downward trajectory of the season. But we're steamrolling right towards those playoffs, baby. So I'm doing all right.
If sunshine means playoff hockey in Pueblo, then sign me up for the allergies it also brings, because we could not be more excited to be talking with Bulls VP Dave Nelson. Bulls fans, can we get a little love for our period one guest, Dave-O?
Good crowd tonight.
Yeah, they've been waiting here for you. You're a little late there, bud. So they're just super excited. Not about you, but that the pod got started.
Yeah, that's fair. I had choir practice, so I was a little late.
Let's hear it then. Bust the pipes out, choir practice.
Thursday night. Thursday night's the show.
Okay, well, we will air that officially on the exclusive Around the Horns network. You can catch that. For now, you can catch up with what just happened this weekend at home. Fan Appreciation Weekend, final regular season stand at home for the boys, Dave, and you came away with a sweep against the team that really has given it your all season in the Warbirds. Obviously, Friday night, a really hard-fought battle. Talk about what went well, how you take that momentum to Saturday.
Yeah, obviously, good weekend for us, finding a way to secure 4 points. I think, one thing we talked with the guys before the weekend, again, it's been a long year. That's 26 home games this year now for us, and finding a way to go 18-7 at home is a fantastic home record. And again, I think there's just times within the year that we can hopefully take a step back and reflect, and that's one thing we told the guys before the weekend, just find moments within this weekend. There's families in town, obviously a lot of appreciation going around to the fans, the billets, the supporters that make this thing turn around, and the excitement around it all. But find a way in terms of the game, the 60 minutes, whatever it is, to enjoy it. Again, it's a long year. It's been a long, grueling times, highs and lows of it all, and I think it's important for these guys just to find moments within the year, and obviously we thought that was a good starting point to just reflect and enjoy what has been a long year so far. Again, we're not done. We have 5 remaining games, but just to enjoy playing in front of our fans, the support we get, and obviously they put on a show as well too.
I want to talk about figuring out the Warbirds. This is obviously a team you've gone on the road and had some success against. At home, split the season series for a couple of these weekends, Dave-O, but this weekend felt different against Casper. Obviously, looking at their roster, top to bottom, it's kind of like the Pueblo Bulls light, right? They've got all the castaways that have made a pit stop in Pueblo and then found their way back to Casper because they apparently like playing in front of 15 fans instead of 1,500 over the weekend. But this weekend was also different because you had their former captain on your side and you had their stud netminder who played on his frickin' head Saturday night. Talk about what was different when you got a guy like Coots who knows this team in and out, and then Henry being able to stop about every guy's shot on the ice this week.
Yeah, no, obviously, again, a lot of personnel go back and forth. And I think, again, one thing we talk with these guys all the time is the game will give you so much if you give it so much in return, and to humble ourselves and respect our opponent. And, again, there's familiar faces on either side. Again, there's relationships that have been built on both sides as well, too. And, again, it's always a lot easier to face an opposing team coming into our building and prepare that way, get last change, all those little things that go into a game plan side of it. But, I think obviously for our guys on our side now, it's a little bit more rewarding to get the 2 points and maybe get a little bit bragging rights in the group chat or the team chat, whatever they're left in. So I think obviously, again, fantastic weekend for both those players. It's rewarding for them to have success on our side and to get the W, and I think for them it's just 2 points at the end of the day too. So again, they're a good team. We talked about it before the weekend. They're a team that has been playing well in the last month. Again, a lot of changes, new faces within their structure and program, and again, stick tap to them as far as them still showing up every game. Again, not in the playoffs or playing really for anything, but they're still playing for individual careers and whatever happens in their future too. So again, good team that's found a way to go into buildings. They beat Idaho in Idaho a couple weeks ago. They beat Ogden in Ogden a couple weeks ago, right? So again, I think just the message for these guys is find a way to get 2 points, find a way to roll into playoffs, and play in the right way.
I think one of the highlights for Tristan and I, we talked about, it was pretty cool to see Blue Hiesel's first goal inside the PIA Invent Center. All joking aside, Blue, we love you, boy. But really, something else we talk about, like we celebrate the fans, we celebrate so much, but there's also some other celebrations, some personal accolades for the players who, right after we recorded last week's show, you guys put out the announcement of those that would be wearing the C and the A's on their sweaters this season. You guys did it kind of late in the game. A lot of people have asked us why, how, when. We don't have any say in that, folks. But since we have Davo here, maybe he can shed some light on the subject for us.
Yeah, obviously, again, you can go around that entire locker room. I think up and down there's probably 80 to 85% of the guys that have worn a letter in some capacity throughout their hockey career, and I think that's one thing we actually do look into as far as just when we're recruiting players is their past experiences on where they've been in lineup or where they are in the leadership role, the communication we have with their past coaches as well too, and we just felt like the time was right. I think throughout the year we always lean on returning players to help mold our culture for the new players coming in, and I think obviously the 4 that were selected, hats off to them, credit to them. Their peers obviously voted them as a number 1 leaders, and again I can say positive things about each one of those guys, and just more happy for them to get the recognition on that side as well too. And but again, you go down and you talk about opposing team. Coots obviously wore a C last year for his team and this year as well too. Again, you can just go down the list on guys that are deserving of wearing letters, and when you look at that part of it, that's another aspect of how deep we are from a leadership standpoint. It doesn't stop with just those 4 guys. It goes down the list, and you're going to rely on everybody to show up every day.
Another letter I think you can add to the chest of one of your players. I don't know if you've ever put an H on somebody's chest, but if you're going to, throw it on the chest of number 4, because Noah Narog, for the second time this season, proved to be a heavyweight who throws some haymakers and he knocks the hell out of people. And I think if you can find a letter, you can throw an H on Narog's chest. The guy has absolutely shined in his chances to play on the defensive side.
And he's only 12 years old, which is crazy.
Yeah, he's able to fight now after last Tuesday when he turned 18. Jokes aside, the kid has absolutely shown what he's able to do, not only on the defensive side of the puck, but to bring energy to your team. Obviously, things got a little out of hand Saturday, and knowing that he had to step up to show that you can't come into Pueblo and do what the Warbirds were doing to some of your star players. And he takes some personal offense to that. He takes his lumps and he sits on the bench for the rest of the game, but I think the energy he brings because of what he's able to throw with that left may make up for it. Davo, you give your insight.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. I think again, obviously, when you talk to players, in the aspect of getting comfortable, again, the physicality side, obviously the size side, he, is a staple back there for us as well. He's been able to develop really well this year on the hockey side, and again, once you probably do it once and you have success, you're going to go back and do it again, and obviously that's the 3rd time he's done it now too. So, but again, Noah's been playing very well for us. He's finding a little bit of a groove in his game. He's finding confidence, and when you're able to stick up for yourself and your teammates, obviously that checks a big box too. Again, you can go down the list, but Vessie's fought a couple times, MJ's fought a couple times, Clarkie's not afraid to throw him. I think Noah's just in the right spot at the right time, and that kid picked the wrong guy. So that's all.
Well, let's keep it on the letters on the sweater too. We did have a returning captain in the barn this weekend too with Willie J. How great is it to see the continued these guys that move on even while they're still playing junior hockey to come back and support Pueblo Bulls hockey?
Yeah, first response when I saw him, I was a little upset he's not in the Bulls, Jay, but,
I told him the same thing.
Yeah. But, again, I think that just speaks, honestly, probably more so the testament to just our hockey community here in Pueblo and, their experience here in Pueblo. It's not just us as a coaching staff. It goes way deeper in terms of the support we get from the community, the billets, the fans, all those things, the relationships they create here in their seven months that they're down here. And, again, it's one of those things where it's rewarding for us to see that players want to come back and just come back for a weekend or a game or whatever the case may be. Even this last week, I got text from Austin Gibson. Cale Lone gave me a call this week, but just seeing the success that not only they're having on the ice, but Cale got married. Gibbs is starting his own business. I saw Henry Denis got engaged last week, and he's graduating college. So it's just, I guess, the life aspect of it where, again, we talk about all the time with these guys. You're not just here to be a hockey player. You're here to grow as a young man and adult, and hopefully we help you navigate those, next stages of life, and they have success. So super exciting. Obviously, it doesn't matter who it is that's able to come back. It's always rewarding to see, past faces come back to Pueblo.
Yeah, it's funny because I got a text last weekend from Alex Timmons, and he said, "Hey, buddy, really down on my luck. Could I get $20?" So we get different texts from guys for different reasons, but proud of those guys doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
But also, these players are learning from the best right here. This guy, talk about life changes and developing and growing in their personal life. You got a lot going on. So we've also seen from a coaching standpoint, maybe you just kind of shying away a little bit, just get Toons and some other guys a chance to figure things out on the bench.
Yeah.
I know Tristan and I will be on the bench this weekend, filling in for you, and we'll try not to screw anything up, but it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, no, obviously, again, got to make decisions. It's really easy coaching these good hockey players, so it wouldn't be that hard to mess it up. But no, the boys, obviously this weekend I'm not traveling, nor am I traveling next week, and just with the anticipation of the baby coming out, from
Kendra, just to be clear.
Yeah, from Kendra. And I think for us, it's an exciting time. It's a nerve-wracking time. We just went through a move, last 2 weeks or whatever, and she pulled the fake pregnancy thing on me at the front door, like the fake water and all that. And I would tell you, like, I never thought, like, I don't know, everybody asks if I'm ready. At that point in time, I'm not ready. Like, let me tell you. So I told her, I said she screwed herself, though, because when that time comes, I'm still just
take her serious.
Now that B. Nellis is on the abs, I'm watching the hockey game. So, it's just one of those things. She can't convince me to leave that. But, it's the boys gave me the clear this week, and they're like, you should just get tossed out, throw a water bottle, get the fans engaged a little bit more, but never had the opportunity. So
Final question, Davo, before we let you go. Obviously, you won't be on the road with the team this weekend, but you'll get to see them go into the nest of a couple of really top teams in the Mountain Division. Some healthy guys coming back. Ty coming back for a couple of shifts, or after only getting to skate a couple of shifts with you. Maddie will be back on the ice. Brownie's going to be coming back. Got to be feeling good, being at full strength, your roster hitting its stride in some really crucial games here late in the stretch of this season. What are you looking for from the couch this weekend?
Yeah, I think, again, it gives me a different perspective to watch the game differently. I'm excited about that. Obviously, again, we keep in communication throughout the game as well, too. But obviously just more excited for those guys to get back and return and be fully healthy. I think that's a testament, something, we don't take a lot of credibility all the time, but I thought, our scout staff, us as a coaching staff, have done a good job creating a lot of depth within our team, and you saw that, break out here over the last, probably the whole second half, to be honest with you. Just guys in and out of lineup with injuries, suspensions, whatever the case may be. Guys stepping up and playing pivotal roles. You're getting depth scoring. Guys are playing in areas maybe they haven't played all year, and I think that's the most rewarding part. And I think, again, you've punched your ticket. Wherever the chips fall, they fall. We're not afraid to go into Ogden. We're not afraid to go into Idaho. I just think it's more important for us to make sure we're playing on all cylinders and playing at a high level. And I think this is a good opportunity. Again, you're going into 5 games on the road. A lot of time on the bus, a lot of time with the boys, more gelling, more relationships that are going to be built. And, once those things continue to establish and you're playing at a high level, you're in playoff hockey, man. Anything can happen, and I'm confident in our group. I'm excited for our group, and when we're healthy and playing on all cylinders, we're a dangerous team.
Well, Davo, next time we see you, we're sure Mario's favorite nickname for you will be a reality. You will officially be a daddy. So thanks for joining us on the pod. Bulls fans, can we get some love for our Period 1 guest, Dave Nelson? Appreciate you, man. We'll see you
Thanks, guys.
at the end of the series.
Hey, real quick, I was just say, this time last year we weren't doing these because I was suspended. So that's a high point too. So yeah, keep it tuned in here for non-suspended ghosts.
We can make it to the second period with the full team on the official place for all things Pueblo Bulls hockey, the Around the Horns podcast. Bulls fans, welcome back to the Around the Horns podcast, period 2 time. And finally, our guest's number matches our period's number, Mario. It's like we planned it. When you get us in stride, we are an unstoppable force, dude. And I just feel like, for that, Bulls fans, you owe us this. For our period 2 guest, give it up for number 2, Marcus Jackson. MJ, what's up, dude? How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
Good. We're glad you're back on the pod with us. A little bit more comfortable now. The season has gotten a lot better in your favor, and you have gotten a lot better because the first time, MJ, just kidding. No, you've been a hell of a hockey player all season, and really excited to talk about your development with the team this year. Davo was just talking about it in period 1. You guys are hitting your stride, gelling really well as a team. How are you feeling at this point in the season?
I'm feeling really good so far. I mean, obviously, first half the season, we had a lot of bumps in the road, ups and downs, but ever since we got back from Christmas, ever since then, it's just been a big changer, and we've been going ever since. So just looking to keep it going into these next 2 weeks and heading into playoffs.
So let me ask you, so what has been the biggest change for you personally from that first half to now? Like, where have things clicked for you at this point?
I'd say just really finding like what my spot is on the team, kind of like what I need to bring every day. I'd say just bringing that energy every day, just mostly just having fun, making sure it's a long season, so you get in the sprouts where it's like you don't want to get up and go to the rink, but you just gotta just go have fun and remember you're with the guys all day. So
some of the strengths we've seen you develop, obviously, a couple of weekends ago, you had a 2-goal weekend on the road. That's got to feel really good. Rewarded with the Rookie of the Week by the NCDC. As these accolades kind of start to come in, as you build your stat sheet for the team, more than just what you bring to the ice every single game, which is a physical force, which is a hell of a back check, and just being in the right place at the right time almost all the time. What do you feel like you're most proud of that you've accomplished this year?
I'd just say becoming who I am as a hockey player. I mean, it's just a big change, obviously, from where I came from last year. So there's a lot of things I'm just proud of myself personally, but there's not really one. Just say kind of everywhere my whole game.
You've remained physical on the ice all season, and Davo talked about it last period as well, that Noah got to drop the gloves and show what he was made of, and they really wanted you to do the same Saturday night, MJ, tugging at your jersey the whole time, and you do a really good job. You channel your inner Hunter Bill, and you just smile at them, right? And you don't let them know what you're made of, but how bad did you want to go?
Well, if we had a full D-core, I was going that night. Davo and Chris told me on the bench we had five healthy D with Brock, so 5.5 D that night. So there's 2 times I really wanted to go there, but I just had to keep it in. Helped draw a couple penalties, just sad. Davo can't figure his power play out to score some goals on it, but it's all right.
That was good. That unit has clicked, and Mario and I said the same thing. We just don't have the guts to tell him to his face that the power play was shoddy this weekend, because when you win both games, you tend to let those things cast away. But MJ, you apparently do not. Photographic memory of the way those shifts went this weekend.
MJ, has anything changed from the fan perspective for you? Do those Jackson yells, do you still hear those? Do they are they a catalyst for you to turn your game around, pick up the pace, not kill people on the ice? Like, are you hearing those fans? Are they like, you gotta hear, because we just get inundated with the Jackson yells in our ears. We've talked about this before, I know, but are you picking up on that? Are you hearing that? Because if not, I need to tell them to shut the hell up.
Yeah, I definitely hear them every once in a while, but
okay,
it always gets me going. I mean, it's nice to know that people support me and are obviously big fans of me. So, I mean, it helps me get going and just...
It's not even your billets or like, they're just like randos that just love you, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what I'm doing for them to love me that much, but, I mean, I'm not hating on it.
I don't think we've heard this season, or possibly the last 3 seasons, anyone's name chanted as regularly as yours. Like, sometimes I just get sick of hearing Jackson, to be honest with you. Nothing personal against you, but on the weekend, it's in our ears all the time. So I'm hoping that those fans and those chants and those yells for you get to you, because if not, again, like, we've got to take it down.
Maybe we just hang an official Marcus Jackson fan section above Section 3 and Section 4, because that is exactly where the yells come from.
Right where we are.
We'll get there at some point this season.
I know you guys are in on that too, though, so...
Well, we're guilty every once in a while.
Mario talks a big game, but he yells it every time, too.
Yeah.
Jackson! MJ, I want to talk to you about the decor. Obviously, a hot topic of conversation this year. You guys have played out of your minds all season, and you've just continued to add pieces that blend well. And now that you feel like you're getting healthy, you're getting all of those pieces back. Obviously, Brownie coming back. Munns has had a chance to show what he's really got after spending a little bit of time dusted up early this season. Now that you feel like you're clicking with just about every other guy you're skating with, what do you feel like the ceiling is for this year's defensive unit?
I don't think we're anywhere really even close to where we can be as a peak. I mean, we have a great decor, but I think we can always just keep on thriving and get better and better. It doesn't really matter who's playing with who. Everyone can play together, which is a big piece of it, which is nice, especially with suspensions, injuries we've had. So I think we still just have a lot more to give, which is great.
And from that team perspective, as you sit back and look, we've talked about you and how you felt that you've improved the second half of the season. But who is it on your team? Which teammate do you have that you sit back and you look, you're like, damn, where were you with these kind of skills the first half of the season, because you're on fire right now? Who's really like impressed you this second half?
I'm really going to have to go Noggs. He's really stepped up his game the second half and has showed just why he deserves to be playing all the time. So I'd say he's a big guy and a big piece of our decor that's been really great recently too.
Did you help him with his homework earlier this year?
No, I'm struggling with my own homework.
Tough. I do want to give you a chance now as we talk about this defensive unit. We did it earlier in the year, but you were much too nice back then. And now I feel like the gloves can finally come off a little bit. And there's an entirely different set of defensive players. So when we talk about offensive-minded defensive players, there's just about all of you have taken that skill set to its max this year. Who is the most lethal from the blue line on this year's squad?
I'd say the most lethal is probably Stu. He's always rushing pucks and just kind of, he's a fourth forward really. When he's out there, sometimes just one D-man.
It's true. You're getting a lot of Simon Marshanock on the blue line when Stewie's out there, because he is nowhere to be found in his positioning. I will ask you, though, when you've got those guys pushing up to the net, who do you feel like does the best job of getting back in transition? We obviously talked with Will Hofer last week, a guy who gets praised week after week for putting his stick in the right place, for breaking up those offensive chances. Who do you feel like is in the right place all the time?
Yeah, I'd say Hofer, too. I feel like he's never really out of position. He's a solid guy, never makes mistakes, or if they do, they're very minimal. And is always just back in the right spaces at all times. So I think Will.
And then let's talk about those heavy hits. When it comes down to it, and someone is coming as strong as they can towards an offensive player from the opposite team, who's going to just blow up the opposition for you guys? Who's got that hardest hit?
I mean, there's a lot of guys. I could go down the list through at least 4 or 5.
Who do you want to avoid getting hit by?
I'd say Noggs, Noah.
Okay.
When that kid's angry and you're in his pathway, you're getting hit real hard. So.
Talking about hard hitters, I wanted to ask you about this. Obviously, a special moment at the end of the game Saturday. Palm comes over, a guy you spent a ton of time with this year, and was probably the meanest guy that Casper has ever rolled onto Pueblo's ice. It was like he had a red target on the foreheads of every single one of our players this weekend, but we shook it out with him at the end of the weekend, told him a great job. How cool is it to see some of those guys you're super familiar with?
No, yeah, it's great. It's great seeing those guys like Blue, Felix, obviously Coop, guys that you kind of build a relationship with at the beginning of the year. So it's obviously good. Like, I still talk to all 3 of them. It's just good to keep in touch. I mean, on the ice, I hate them, but after, it's a different story. So it's really good to see those guys again.
Did you get him with a chirp? Did you tell him enjoy Cancun in April? What is the chirp there?
I said at least you guys get good go home early, get to see family, so it's always nice.
You're such a nice guy, dude. That is just the high road I would never take. Mario and I have tried over the last couple of weeks to acknowledge what we enjoy most about what we do every single week, and that's getting to meet players like you. And I think Mario and I both, since week one, had a very special spot in our hearts for you. We were stuck with you on a golf course for about 4 hours during the opening weekend of the season.
Making people puke, Tristan.
And I think that's a bond you cannot ever get better than. So from that week, MJ, we knew you were going to bring exactly what it means to be a Pueblo Bull to Pueblo. You talked about everything the right way. You carry yourself the right way. And you just bring 110% of yourself to the ice arena every single weekend for the fans, for the rest of your teammates. We want to thank you for everything you've done this year and wish you the best of luck moving forward.
And selfishly, we'd love to see you back in Pueblo.
Oh, I know.
Putting it out there. Just putting it out there. Again, we have no say, folks. We just have tastes and things we like. And so we're putting it out
Lead
there.
the horse to water is what that's called, Mario. Now, will MJ drink? We'll see. MJ, thanks so much. Bulls fans, give it up for our Period 2 guest, Marcus Jackson. Don't go anywhere. Period 3 time with, stop me if you've heard it before, a brand new face to the pod on the official place for all things Pueblo Bulls hockey, the Around the Horns podcast. Bulls fans, welcome back to the Around the Horns podcast, Period 3 time. And Mario and I feel like are doing our best to bring you some of your favorites, but we cannot leave out the newest faces. And unless you were at the PIA and Event Center this weekend, you probably haven't seen him yet, Bulls fans. So give him a Pueblo welcome, our Period 3 guest, Ty Broten. Ty, huge crowd for you out there tonight, man. How you feeling?
Fantastic.
Excited you were here on the pod, excited you're in Pueblo, and really excited you're going to be hitting the ice for the boys. Obviously, we were looking forward to it a couple of weeks ago in Ogden, and then we talked with head coach Chris Wilhite. After that weekend, he goes, how terrible can one guy's luck be? First shift out, goes out and gets injured. That's tough to join a team with so much momentum, but how has your first couple of weeks been in Pueblo? How are you feeling adjusted to the team, and how excited did you get to be back on the ice?
Yeah, the boys have been great. We were on the road for the first few weeks I was here, so it was pretty easy to gel with everybody, easy to get that connection, and then had the home series last weekend, and wow, the fans here are amazing. Way better than fans out east, and it's been great. Can't wait to get on the ice in front of them for playoffs.
So talk about your hockey journey. Obviously, if the folks at home are not familiar with you and your game and how you got to Pueblo, where did you start playing hockey? What does your junior career look like? And where were you before you came to Pueblo?
Yeah, so I came from Minnesota High School, and then I was playing in Canada last year, and then started this year I was out east in the NCDC in Utica, then got traded here at the deadline. So drove that, I think it was like 32 hours, got a few days of practice in, hit the road to Ogden, and then leg didn't want to work.
And the Pueblo experience, outside of the fans, getting here, seeing the community, what's it been like for you?
It's been great. My billets, Mo and Laura, have welcomed me in their home. It's been great. The transition's been awesome. The boys have been amazing. It couldn't have gone smoother.
And let's go back then. Let's talk about the fans and the experience you've seen in Minnesota high schools. You know, you have fan base. You go Canada, I'm assuming you have a fan base.
Yep.
You go out east. No fan base.
No fan base.
But then you come here, and it is the belligerence of Pueblo, Colorado fans. They're just crazy beyond all get out. How easy was that for you to get excited about, or was it like, whoa, these people are nuts?
It was like, whoa, this is awesome. It makes it very easy to get up for a game. Out east, sometimes it's a little hard at noon when you're playing at an empty rink. We come here 7 o'clock, building sold out. It's pretty easy to get up for that.
And with that being said, like, we haven't even seen the craziest part of this, right? Like, you've seen regular season Pueblo. Pueblo's not seen postseason craziness. How excited are you to see and be part of that first Pueblo Bulls home series playoff push?
It's even half what I saw this weekend. I think we're going to be in for a treat.
Agreed.
Obviously, it's a really important part of this season. You guys are going on the road, taking on the number 1 team in the NCDC Mountain Division, and a team that is also trying to find out what they want to do before the playoffs. Seeding, we talked with Davo, not a big worry for you guys. You've had great success against Ogden. You've had a ton of success against Idaho. Both teams, though, that are somewhat new to you and environments that are new to you. When you get to play at Ogden's home arena, big rink. Olympic ice, a little bit wider, a little bit taller ceilings. I don't know if you've ever played in a place like ours with that reverse saddle ceiling where you've got to keep every pass about eye level, but different environments also make an adjustment tougher for you. How do you feel like you're preparing yourself mentally and then physically to get on the ice and do whatever you can to bring yourself to the team?
I'd say that for every game is the same routine. Just try yourself in the same mental space every time, night in, night out. I'm not sure the rink has too much to do with it. Obviously, Ogden and being the bigger rink, you have a little more time and space on the walls, but it's pretty similar all around.
So with this year's team, I'm assuming you're doing some skating to get ready to go on the ice. So you've had some chances to play with some of the guys. Now, line-wise, these guys are hitting their grooves. Obviously, injuries and suspensions have forced a couple of people into different spots. But who have you been skating with a lot in practice? Who do you feel like you're clicking well with right now?
For my one game, for the one shift I played, I should say, I was the left wing with Quinn Metzger and Jimmy Zeiss on the right. So that was fun. And then practice, I've been in the white no-contact jersey. So haven't got a lot of chemistry yet, but I'm sure we'll figure it out pretty soon.
Spending a lot of time talking to Tyler Thunberg is what I'm assuming you're doing in that white no-contact jersey. That's okay. That's okay. You'll adjust and find yourself clicking with this team. So watching practice, even from that no-contact jersey, seeing the way some of these guys move around the ice. You mentioned guys like Quinn and Jimmy. Jimmy had 2 goals and an assist this weekend. Quinn was in on 3 goals. Didn't register a point, but the guy's playing out of his mind since he joined Pueblo. How do you feel like you're going to be able to contribute when you finally find yourself in some of those meaningful minutes with the team?
I can help with the production and scoring, and then also be a solid 200-foot player who's defensively responsible, but also adding that second layer of offense behind the Twins.
Yeah, we'd love to hear that. I mean, this team has got some really high-level talent, and anytime you add talent like you're talking about too, it's going to go bonkers. But when we talk about the skaters that we have, and we talk about practices and you not being able to participate all that much. Before the game, or before the show, I should say, we talked about the team having a practice of getting bagged and you not being part of that. Tell us what goes through your mind when you're hurt and you see your new teammates just getting their bodies killed out there.
I felt a little guilty on that one. Me and Maddie were up in the stand stretching, and then just heard Chris. We messed up the drill a few times, and it's like, oh boy, here we go.
Do you avoid eye contact?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought so.
I told Mario when he told me this story, though, you can't feel that bad because when your team gets shellacked, you weren't a part of it. You can't wear any of that blame on your shoulders. So, Ty, you didn't deserve those bags. And so for you, take the day off, enjoy the rest there. I want to ask you, with this last important push through the playoffs, obviously the team has their eyes on one prize, and that's the Deneen Cup at the end of the year. What are you most excited about? Is that your end goal? And how do you think you guys get there strategically as a team?
We've played a very detailed game this past weekend, so I think we did a good job getting a lead, establishing our game, and then playing with that lead. So if we can just keep playing with that lead, I think we'll be just fine.
With all of the different levels of players you've played with as well, I think Mario and I have brought it up on multiple occasions. This is probably the deepest and most diversely talented team that Pueblo has ever seen. Now, watching those guys in practice, what are you seeing that maybe you haven't seen out east, what you didn't see last year in Canada? Are there skill sets or things people bring to the ice that are new to you still at this point in your game?
Yeah, I feel like most teams are pretty similar, but here it seems a little different. Everyone knows what their job is. Everyone has their role. Everyone's firing all cylinders right now, and it's the perfect time of year to peak right before playoffs.
And of your new teammates, if you were to single out both an offensive standout and a defensive standout that you've seen, they're like, wow, those guys are really, really good. If you're going to have to pick one of each, who are you calling out on this show?
I'm not sure there's one guy on defense or offense that really just pops. It's a team game, so everyone's got to help each other out. So it's a team game.
Okay. And then who, from a goaltending standpoint, when you guys are practicing and taking shots, who do you love to shoot on this team?
Oh, I scored on Pecker Day and Juice. That was awesome.
Perfect.
That is so
Love
good.
it.
Ty, I want to give you a chance here. Obviously, you go on the road this weekend. Bulls fans with us tonight. Bulls fans watching at home, going to be really sad to only be able to watch you guys on Flow TV. What do you have to say to them to keep them excited about this weekend's games? And then in 2 short weeks, how do you get them back to the PIA and Event Center? Go ahead, look them right in the eyes and tell them what they need to do.
Well, we're going to give you a sneak peek into playoff hockey this weekend, so you don't want to miss it.
Simple.
Man, I don't know, Ty,
He's a
if
pro.
they stop in Utica and give you media training or what, but your talking points are on brand. This is maybe the most efficient third period we've ever had on the show.
Ever.
Well, we thought we had 5 more minutes, but instead, make it up with the round of applause, Bulls fans. Our period 3 guest, Ty Broten.
Thank you.
I'm ready to eat, Tristan.
Is it because of the brats? Is that what made you hungry? You think sausage and immediately you go, put that meat in my mouth.
Maybe.
Bulls fans, we are unfortunately on the road this weekend. Flow TV is your one chance to watch Pueblo Bulls hockey, and you can watch them do what they do on the road against the Idaho Falls Spud Kings, and then you can join us back here Tuesday night at Fuel and Iron Food Hall, 6 p.m. for another recording of the official place for all things Pueblo Bulls hockey, the Around the Horns Network.